Let's talk about where to spend your time when you are a brand new entrepreneur, right? You know that you want to get clients, you know that you want to grow your business, but you have no idea where to start when you sit down in front of your computer every single day. I feel you, and we are going to talk about how you can be really intentional with your time, even when you are brand new. So I am Ryan Dowdy. I am a sales coach, and I help brand new entrepreneurs build six-figure businesses by mastering your sales conversations and your sales mindset. Today's video is going to be short because when you're brand new to business, there's not a lot of different things you should be doing, but it's important to be intentional about your time. So the first piece of advice I want to give you about time management is deciding how much time you want to give. Right? How much time do you want to spend on your business right now? And maybe you're working your business full time. Maybe you are growing your business alongside a full-time job. Maybe you are home with your kids. There's a lot of different instances going on, which is why I'm not going to tell you to dedicate X amount of time to your business. But I want you to decide what is that, right? Like, how much time do I have? So I'm going to take 10 hours as an example, just because I'm really bad at math. But say, for instance, you've decided I'm going to dedicate 10 hours every single week on my service-based business, right? And this would be the perfect example if you're growing your business alongside a full-time job. So of those 10 hours, how will you spend them? So if you have no clients, none of that time is dedicated to client work, which means you have 10 hours to sell and market your business. Right? And if you watched last week's video, you know that there's actually only 3 types of content you should be creating until you hit 100K, and that should only take you about an hour, right? So if you have that hour, so I've got 10 hours, one of it is spent on content creation. That means I have 9 hours left to spend in my business this week. I would also recommend spending an hour or two every single week learning. And whether that's learning sales, whether that's learning marketing, whether that's learning your craft, whatever that looks like for you, podcast, YouTube, courses, books, I don't care. I'm a huge fan of personal and professional development, and I think it is mission critical when you're brand new to business to make sure you continue to learn and continue to feed your brain really intentional, positive information that's going to help you move forward. So if we've got 10 hours and we're spending 1 hour on content creation and 1 hour on learning, that means we have 8 hours left in our week. What do we do with those 8 hours? My friend, those 8 hours are spent on revenue generating activity, sales activity in your business. That is where you should be spending the lion's share of your time, on activities that make you money. What activities make you money in your business? When you're brand new to business, the activity that makes you money, my friends, is talking to people. You should be spending 8 hours a week talking to people. And whether that is in person, whether that is in Facebook groups, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, whether that's on Zoom calls and coffee chats, 8 hours of your time should be spent talking to people, because the only way we get clients is by talking to people, by building relationships, right? And so in order to build relationships, we have to talk to people, and we can't just talk at them, right? That's what we've talked about with content creation. We can't just put out content and assume that people are going to want to work with us. So we have to go out and intentionally talk to people and network. In a post-pandemic world, maybe that's done at in-person networking events, right? Maybe you go to your local chamber of commerce, maybe you join a BNI, maybe you join a local networking organization. That would be awesome, right? But if you're not doing that, you can definitely spend your time networking on social media. And I think social media is such a fantastic place to network. And the reason for that is there are literally millions and millions of people on social media that are likely fit the profile of your ideal client. Or if you're still trying to figure out who your ideal client is, the good news is there's a lot of trial and error because there's so many people to talk to. So when you're brand new to business and you're looking at your calendar and we decide, hey, I've got 10 hours a week to spend on my business, 80% of that time should be spent on selling and revenue generating activity, which involves talking to people. Now, we can't just go out and talk to people without making invitations, right? Making offers, as maybe you've heard somebody use those words before. So we can't just go talk to people. We have to invite people into our world, and we have to book sales conversations. That is the objective of those 8 hours. You're not just BSing with people. You're not just making friends. And while making friends is important, when you see opportunities, when you see people that need your help, when you see people that have the problem that you solve, it is okay to say, hey, that's a problem that I solve for clients. I'd really love to have a conversation to see if that's something I could help you with. Or are you looking for help with that? Because that's a problem that I solve for people. So we can't just talk to people in those 8 hours. We do have to invite them into our world. And our goal is to book sales conversations, to get into what they call the discovery call, right? The discovery call, consult call, strategy session, whatever it is you want to call it in your business. It's a sales conversation. And the only way that we book sales conversations is by inviting people into them, by letting them know that that is something that you offer, that it's available, that you're open for business, which is why that content that we talked about last week is really important, because by talking to people online and then they follow their breadcrumbs back to us, wherever that is, right? If we're hanging out on Facebook, they follow it back to our profile. And we've been putting out this content that is valuable, right? That we show people that we know what we're talking about. We've been educating people about our industry. And we've been telling them, we've been connecting with people, we've been talking about ourselves, right? And I think that this is such a missed opportunity, is to not let people know that you're open for business, that you are accepting clients, that you do free sales calls, that you get on the phone with people and determine if they're a fit. So you have to let people know that that is available to you. That is one of the most missed things that I see in this talking to people strategy, is while we go out and talk to people, we're not inviting them into our world. We have to invite them in. We have to tell them what to do. We have to tell them that that we're available to help them. We have to tell them that we book these calls, and we do that by inviting them in. So I hope that this is really helpful in helping you create your money-making schedule in your business. If you would like to continue this conversation and you want a ton more free training, I would love if you would join us over in the Sales Skills for Women in Business Facebook community. If you're on Instagram, we're at Uncensored Sales. And then I also have a fantastic PDF, which is my 5-step process, my proven system for getting clients. It's called the Uncensored Sales System. It's linked in the notes here. Please download that system. It's going to walk you through this entire process of how to go out into the world and get clients. And if you're watching us here on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe so you never miss a video, and we'll see you next week.